spiders and spiderettes, Fiber Spider back again with another unboxing reveal review for you. Yes, today we have the Clover brand Takumi Interchangeable Tunisian Crochet set. That's a mouthful. Yeah. Yes, we have the Interchangeable Tunisian Crochet Hook Takumi Combo Set. That's to be specific, yes, and it is by Clover. Now, I do have also previously done the Takumi Clover brand Interchangeable Knitting Needle set, and I saw this at Michael's, and I was like, oh, I gotta get it. So I did. I did. Now, do I really need this? Well, need, want, there's a fine line, but, you know, I decided, let me just tiptoe through the tulips right over that little line, and so I did get this set. Now, granted, when I got this, the price for it, the sticker price, was actually, oh my goodness, it was like $130 roughly. Now, I did have a coupon. You know, I had a 50% off coupon that I was able to apply towards that. So I did. So that was really the only way that I was able to justify this. Now, because this was spent with, you know, it was purchased with my own money, I'm going to give you a completely transparent, honest review about this because, you know, this is, you know, this is an unbiased opinion. You know, I mean, I have the previous set, love it to death, and I thought, let's give this a try, okay? So, that being said, now what do you get in the set? You get various sizes of hooks. You get an E, an F, G, then a 7. I haven't heard of a 7, but so it goes E, F, G, then 7, then H, I, J, K, and L. Okay, and I'm just going to show you the millimeters. Hopefully it'll focus so that you can see. And then you also have cord sizes, cord lengths as well. So you've got 16, 24, 29, 36, and 48 inches, which is great. That way, if you are wanting to do a Tunisian project that is rather wide, you can, because 48 inches, that's a really good cord length. You can totally do a blanket with that cord length. Also, you get 5 little stoppers, and they're made of bamboo. The cords, I know from experience with the knitting needle set that the cords are nice and flexible, very, very much so. I love that. Oh, I love that. Also, generally, the connection between the, you know, the hooks and the cords and so forth, it's pretty seamless. So I believe that will be the same on these. Now, I did do a little practicing with these because I wanted to see, will they really have the gusto? They do. You know, I was practicing last night using one of them, and I was working on this little guy. Now, I did not need the cord because this is only what they call a 10-stitch blanket, so I did not need the cord. In fact, I just needed the hook. That's all I needed. I could have used a regular crochet hook, but it gets wide where you hold on to it, so but these actually work really well. So let's open it up, shall we? So inside we have a cute little handy-dandy case. And so obviously you have all of your hooks here, and they're in their nice little pockets. And also this flap here does go over your hooks. So when it's closed, no worries, no problems. Also, you have this little pouch right here. Now in here, we have the stoppers. How cute is this? And so they're just sort of stuck into this foam little screw top right there. And so they're going to stay put, you know. They're not going anywhere. That's great. So, you know, so that's this pocket right here. Now, underneath said pocket is where the little cords are stored. And so you have your little 16-inch one in the very top and then the bigger ones down below. So it's nicely organized. I will give them that. However, what I'm not crazy about, to be perfectly frank, what I'm not crazy about is how this isn't a zipper closure. It's just, you just sort of, you know, fold this over and you wrap this strap around and you then stick it through itself and cinch. I'm not crazy about that. You know, to me, this makes me think of something. The case reminds me of something that you would make in home economics class. Compared to the case for the knitting needle set, you know, it looks like leather. It's got a zipper. You know, they could have used the same case, quite frankly. They really could have. They could have used the same exact case with some slight modifications, and it would have looked nicer, and they could have charged more, to be perfectly frank. So the case I'm not too fond of. But, you know, it was cheaper than the knitting needle set. But quite frankly, I think that this, you know, is ultimately, it is a nice set. Would I say it's worth the money? I mean, what I ended up paying, it was about $70 after the discount. Is it worth it? It depends on how much Tunisian crocheting you're planning on doing, I would say. Do I do a lot of it? No, but to find cord lengths and, you know, otherwise you're going to have to get, you know, a certain size hook with a certain length of cord every time, you know, you want to do a certain project. This makes it easier. You know, same thing with the interchangeable knitting needle set. It makes it a lot easier. That I can appreciate. And also, when it comes to buying materials, sometimes I don't like splurging so much, but when it comes to tools, tools will last you. You know, and the Takumi hooks, you know, the Takumi knitting needles that I have by Clover, those, I've had them for a long time. I've never had any issue. So because it's a tool and you can get lots of use out of it, I can personally justify spending that much money because I know that I'm going to get my money's worth eventually. So that's just me. I understand that everybody has different budgets and so forth. So I would say, you know, wait for a 50% off coupon if you're going to get it through this vendor. I don't know what the prices are like elsewhere, so I can't vouch, but this is just my personal experience. So, without further ado, let me show you the actual twisty workings of it. And a little close up, all right? Okay. All right, so if you didn't see properly before, like I said, here are the various hook sizes. Now, honestly, like I said, I've never heard of a 7 before. I personally go by the letters. You know, I do give the millimeter sizes often, just, you know, to make it easier. And so the cord lengths, I love the cord lengths, very, very much so. Because sometimes, yeah, I would like to do a blanket. So, like I said, here we have our little caps right here. And then we have our various hooks. Now, as far as pros and cons, see, that's a J. I like the K. See, as far as pros and cons, and also the great thing is that, you know, the size and so forth, it's actually burnt into the hook itself, which I really like because that way you don't have to guess. Now, as far as the sizes are concerned, yes, there is quite a nice variety of hooks, as you can see. I'm just going to screw this right into here to show you. Now, the funny thing is, with Tunisian crochet, typically I use bigger rather than smaller hooks. Now, there's plenty of smaller hooks in here, but the biggest size hook that we have here is a size L. Okay, now with a worsted weight yarn, I would use a size K. Now, what if I wanted to use a bulky? If I were to use that size L, it probably would be too small. Would I use the itty bitty itty tiny little hook there? Well, that maybe if I was using sock yarn, but typically I would rather go bigger than go smaller. So I think that's probably one of my only major gripes, aside from the case being sort of, for lack of a better term, sort of Susie Homemaker. I'm not very crazy about the design. I would have really preferred a zipper, but I don't think that anything's going to fall out of it, to be perfectly frank. I think that the items are going to be secure and safe in there, but I'm just not crazy about the overall design. So, as you can see, I rather easily connected this is the 16-inch cord, okay? Well, it creates a 16-inch length between the cord and the hook. And this is, as you can see, really seamless, and it's not going anywhere. It takes a while to screw in. It's not one of those snap-on daily jams, which I don't have any experience with those. I just have experience with the Clover Takumis, and then you have this closure, which is really the same thing. So I have no worries that it's going to come undone. Also, as far as the shape of the hook itself, now it is, I'm not going to say sharp, but it is distinct. It's not rounded on the actual underside of the hook at all. I was concerned about that. I did have reservations because I typically use, I think it's Boy brand hooks, and I tend to veer away from, I think it's the Susan Bates, if I'm again not mistaken, because this hook, the fact that it's a very sharp and distinct edge, I'm not a huge fan of that for my stitching personally. However, as you can see with this piece that I was working on, yes, I was able to use it. It was not really an issue. It's just something that I needed to personally get used to. By the way, this, I might, emphasis on the word might, be doing a tutorial on this project. I don't know yet, but it's something I'm working on. It's one of my many, many works in progress. And just as a little shout out, yes, this is also Lion Brand ice cream yarn in the colorway of Moon Mist. Oh, as always, no, I'm not sponsored at all, but I'm sure that in the comments section, I'm going to get questions. What is that yarn? What is that project? It's the 10-stitch Tunisian blanket. So as far as the shape of the hook, it wasn't a problem. It was just something I had to get used to. But as far as the construction, the smoothness of the hook, always good. And the connection there, it's fine. So I'm not disappointed with that. If anything, I think it would have been better if the selection of hooks started at, say, a size H and then got bigger from that, as opposed to starting from, what was it, a size E? Yeah, instead of a size E, start at like maybe H and go bigger than that. The number of cords and the length of the cords, no problem there. And the number of caps, hey, I'm fine with that too. Okay? Also because, you know what? When you're doing a Tunisian project and you've done your return row, you can take the hook out. This is a work in progress. Just as long as you remember what hook size you're using, you don't have to have the hook in there all the time. And that's convenient, as opposed to knitting where, yeah, you kind of do. Unless if you're using a lifeline, you really have to have the needles in use all the time. This, however, it's like, yeah, you can have as many projects as you want as long as you've done the return pass. So that's not a problem. So with that being said, do I like this product? Yes. Do I think that there are things that could have been tweaked, altered, changed, you know, considered? Yes, I do. So yeah, there are pros and cons, to be sure. Ultimately, would I recommend this? Yeah, I think I would. You know, if you are into Tunisian crocheting, and I mean, even if you're not into Tunisian crocheting, you could still make use of these in a pinch. You know, you could just use this as your crochet hook. You know, you don't have to use, you know, the cordage if you don't want to. So either way, you know. So listen, as always, I really hope that you found this review helpful and informative. As always, you know, this is always out of pocket, so I like to give you, you know, a completely transparent, honest review because I have nothing to gain by this other than my ability to share with you my experience and for what it's worth, okay? So if you did like this little review, unboxing, and so forth, please give a little support, give a little thumbs up button down below because your support means ever so much to me. Also, if you have any questions, comments, what have you, I love hearing from you guys, so do so in the comments section down below. Also, if you want to see more videos, please hit subscribe because I do try to post as often as I can, whether it be about knitting or crocheting or audiobook narrations or on my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games. I do video game commentary and playthrough. A lot of fun. So, until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.